All right.
See
We should be
if
live.
you. All right, cool. I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna look you up. I did not receive an alert.
Yeah. There might be a bit of a delay too. So,
Yeah, but typically it would give you like if you were at the YouTube screen. Yeah, we're up, and I have sound.
you do have sound? You can hear me? And we're up
Yeah,
at
go to
Rumble.
YouTube, Matt. We're on YouTube.
Okay. I'm jumping over to YouTube now just to take a look.
And my
Oh,
dogs are horrible.
don't worry about it. How come I don't see? I wonder if it's because
We're live on Rumble. However, there's no volume on Rumble.
I heard. Oh, really? I heard it. Oh,
I'm
there's someone
getting
actually. I think there's actually someone in chat.
nope.
My ear trumpet. Go
I
ahead.
do have volume on Rumble.
Cool.
Are those
Well,
the only two? Are those the only two places we are?
I can stream to Twitter. I don't have that enabled because I just wanted to focus on this. Hey, my ear trumpet has been struck by lightning. Thanks for showing up. We're just doing a stress test, bud. In a couple weeks, we'll probably do something for real. So, but hey, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, Cyrus,
Oh,
right? Hey, man,
we
we're
should
just.
just start doing a pod. Here we are. Looks like we're doing a podcast.
uh,
Smash that like button and send in those super chats.
I can see that. Thank you for the. Let's see if I did that right. There we go. And thanks for what 2 8. I don't know what that is. Is that Aussie? Is that down under? Well, hey guys, I really appreciate it. Oh, we were what a couple of days ago. We tried to. This is restream is what we're using, and I clicked on it, and then I went to YouTube and Rumble, and I heard no sound. In the past couple of days, I've been having a near panic attack because I can't find a solution to the problem. So I just like disconnected YouTube and then reconnected it, and then apparently it's worked. So I guess it's kind of like turning off your computer and turning it back on. I don't know. It's magic to me. All of this. So um, cool. Well,
Oh, elves in the machine.
yeah.
All right. Well, now that we know it's working, should we have our meeting live, or should we retreat in case there are secrets? We don't
Uh,
have any secrets.
we don't have any real big secrets. Let's talk about the show.
Okay,
That's one of the things we have to talk about. Then the other thing, when we're ready to talk about that, we'll cut the stream.
for sure. I don't know really what I have to say about the show. Um, I guess the last time we talked about it, we were a few cups in.
Yeah, yeah, we were.
So, the big thing that I would say about the show is we put together a real simple like set list format. So there is a greeting that needs to be somewhat standard after the intro. Sorry, that you want to put together. After that intro, there's a greeting. I feel like since we're on your channel, you should probably handle that greeting. Um, after that, uh, did you game this week? Go through our gaming week. After that is the meat, which I just have written down as topic slash guest. I think we need to make a list of people we think we can realistically get on the show and try to have a guest. Um, I mean, I would say almost at least every other time, if not, depending on who we can get and when. But I do think we should make a list of who we think it's realistic for us to approach. Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to say any names right now, but I think that there's a few people that we could go to right now, moderately known. You know what I mean? That I think would be fun to have on. There's two people that I really want to talk to. One of which I think is an easy get, and in our private chat, I'll give you the second, who I think wouldn't be as hard. I think the one that I just wrote down could happen. I think that's actually realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I think that's fair. It's just our timing. A lot of these things are going to depend on who's hawking what and when. Who's got product, right?
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, after the meet, very nice, very nice. Um, After the meat of the show, as we're winding things down, at that point we talked about, and I still really like this idea. We talked about giving homework out, basically saying something to the effect of next week we're going to be talking about this game, or next, you know what I mean, or something like that. But the more I think about that, I mean, we could, and it would be fun, kind of like have a reading club or what have you, almost. You know what I mean?
That would
And how
I was just gonna say that'd be a little different from what I see in other streams. You know
well,
what I
and
mean?
then yeah, and but then people get to like if you told me I want to talk about riffs, right? If you told me I wanted to talk about that you wanted to talk about riffs, I'd have to go read riffs. I've never played riffs. You know what
Right.
I mean? So maybe if we have some at the just a real quick like little kicker at the end, hey, your homework is read this. It's definitely meat, as in meat, the meat that you eat, the meat of the show. Um, yeah, and then that was really homework, and then goodbye. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a set list, and we only have one, two, three, four, five, six things on our set list, so we're good to go there. And just to make sure I understand the times, we are doing 10 Central to midnight Central.
Yeah. And so that for me would be 11 to 1
Okay. Are
Eastern.
you just before I know for the first show at least because we have the ad, but do you think that's a time that is realistic for you every week, or do you think maybe we should move it closer to like 10 o'clock your time as opposed to 11 o'clock your
No, I
time?
could do it.
Okay.
I could do it. I mean, if yeah, I could do it. I mean, I've done it before. I just
Okay.
have to.
Because the only reason I ask is because I think a big thing with live streams and podcasts and all that kind of good stuff um, is consistency.
Right.
As soon as you start missing one or two, nobody likes that, right? And you know, um, all right. What else about the show did you want to talk about?
Um. Well, basically this, like what we had been discussing. So for the greeting, you want like you think it is like 3 to 4 quick sentences, or like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, these just a standard, like almost a variety show kind of, you know what I mean? Just a hello, I'm Lord Mateus, thanks for joining, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I would even, in fact, I was thinking about this earlier today. You're fairly soft spoken, and I think that like this is the one time you should maybe try to put on your fake TV announcer voice, if only, if only just for the greeting. You know what I
All right.
mean? If you get your voice from way down here, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and you enunciate.
Oh
um
goodness.
yeah,
Welcome to the second watch with Matt and Gary.
there you go, that's all we need.
I am not talking like that.
Welcome to the second watch. with
Uh,
Lord Mateus. Well, something I can't do it either, man. But I will say that we tend to, when we speak, we get fairly thoughtful about things, and
right.
we do speak lower.
Yeah.
So I think if we could consciously at the beginning at least kind of start off,
Sure. Yeah, I
man,
gotcha.
I hate having this camera on me. It makes me realize like how much I use my hands. Like I talk, I'm a hand talker.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. That's
This
why I'm
is
constantly sipping my water, and in a few
mm.
weeks my bourbon. So keep me busy. But
So not to completely change the subject, but the Christmas present I have honestly been able to appreciate the most, right? My girl got me mustache wax. Fucking rad, dude.
well, you'll
I've
be able
gotten
to
I mean,
put it on full
oh no, it's
display.
on. It's on. There, it's doing nothing but growing for the rest of my life.
Cyrus, I've been having a lot of fun with like a video editor, and I have something that I'm working on. It's not quite done, but it'll be like a 30-second intro to kind of get us started, kind of set the tone of like what we're trying to do here. We want to have fun. We just want to talk about games. I really don't see us getting into any like well, we're definitely going to avoid drama, but the occasional Watsy business news I can see us talking about every
Which, oh,
now
Matt,
and again. But did I cut out?
you know, just for a second, Um, see, but see, in here, like, I don't want to get in the drama either, but I feel like if we're willing to talk shit about Watsy, we should be willing to talk shit about anybody. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, fuck it. If we're
Well,
not doing
well,
it,
well. Here's the thing: are you willing to take some heat? Because I
I
today,
will. I
just
will.
just today, all I did was retweet something from the Lazy DM where he's talking about the problem of evil, and I said something to the effect of like, "Look, this is more than just woke. It's like the over intellectualization of our hobby, and this is really annoying. Just play the damn game. By no need to what inject your weird theories about life, the universe, and everything. The answer is 42, by the way." And some weirdo, I actually had to block him because his actual tweet thread, like his I don't know Twitter account, whatever, has some really, we'll just say, spicy stuff that may involve underage kids. So I was like, whoa,
Oh,
click,
fuck.
yeah, you're out.
Yeah.
So and that was to me, I mean, yeah, I was a little snarky on my part, but like if you're willing to take heat, I'll be
Well,
more than
I
happy to
mean,
go on a villain
here's the
arc
thing. I,
and
I I
start.
do have to. Well, no, no, no. I'll tell you. I will tell you the truth. I'm not. Uh, I grew up with Texas grandparents, right?
Right.
And it was if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? And it even went further than that to the point where it doesn't cost you anything. It went even further than that where it doesn't cost you anything to be nice, right? This idea of tolerating and being polite and everything. I mean, that's expected, but like good people are just nice. So I don't want when I say talk shit, like I really don't want to talk shit about anybody. If we do, the Watsy stuff will come up, and we both, I think, have. I think as long as our complaints on anything like have a real point, as long
Oh
as we're
yeah.
not nitpicky, you know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of these guys online are like trying to start some shit,
Oh yeah.
right?
Well,
Like
that
like
goes
they
without saying.
want they want the juice, right? Um, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
No.
know what? Yeah.
Go ahead.
And people talk shit online because they know I can't punch them in the nose through the computer. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand that whole online beef stuff. So no, I don't really want to get into it, but I think that we should feel free to criticize and comment as long as it's, you know,
Thoughtful and makes
as
sense.
long as it's not attacking. right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. No, I'm good.
you know how like when you're arguing with your girl, like as long as she would stick to the point, everything would be fine. Prove me wrong, but she got to
Right.
get personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
mama sucks. It's like, oh,
Yeah. No, I hear you. No, I'm actually fine with that. Uh yeah, I'm fine with that.
yeah. For example, you did a video. It's the one negative. It was a short, and it was the one negative thing I've ever seen you do. And it was something about shadow dark tables or something like that.
Oh, I didn't like them. And I'm kind of like,
Yeah, but I didn't see that as shit talking because you explained, hey, this is da 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 da. I like the game. This part right here is, you know what I mean? And I thought that was really, that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. So
well, if
yeah,
you
I'm
want
like,
to get deep into things like that, I am 100% a okay with that. I'm glad I actually asked for the clarification because there are channels that are will have no problem. And then I saw this tweet, they cut and pasted it, and it's just like I don't want to get into that. I think there's enough toxic crap in the hobby, and I just don't want to participate
absolutely,
into it.
absolutely.
So,
And that's another thing is like I know that we're gonna cover like a lot of OSR stuff. Um, because both you and I enjoy that. Although it's funny how much we both enjoy the OSR thing, yet we're on completely different sides of it, right? Like you're all lamentations, titties and gore, and I'm right, and I'm
I'm
fucking
listening.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like old school essentials. I want my halfling village and my evil wizard that wants to put them in a bag and turn them into a potion. You know what I mean? Like, but we both still dig OSR stuff. Um, but I also want to do some new games as well, or newish games. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I
Well,
really I like that shit.
yeah, me too. Well, I mean, my channel initially and still is dedicated to the indie gamer. That's why you won't really see me talking about Wizards of the Coast unless it's newsworthy. You know what I mean? Or if I
Hmm.
there's something that really came out of the blue and I want to talk about it. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I want to highlight indie games, and yes, the first couple of years was pretty much nothing but Lamentations.
Well,
Uh,
you that was like, you know, that was like your first dirty girlfriend. You know what I mean? It was, dude. Because I remember you were all you and your player. You would tell me about your players. Y'all were in 5e hell.
oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean? And if anything will wake you up out of that coma, it's Lamentations.
yeah, yeah.
For
Um,
sure.
and there's still a lot I want to talk about and run with that game, but there's others out there that I want to focus on and start looking at. So if we can get copies of stuff and we can start reading through it, I'm happy to talk about anything.
Yeah.
So the homework will be good for me too.
Word. Word.
So all right, well, I don't know. So there's
Other
that.
okay, schedule, format, schedule, general, whatever. What else about the show?
Um, I don't I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I just like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about make sure we're on the same page with how we're going to interact with the community at large vis-a-vis criticizing creators, precisely how you wanted to handle that set list thing, and
Yeah. The big thing is there's no reason if we're talking about a game, there's no reason to make it personal towards the creator,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like that's the big I think that's the big thing is that you can be critical and not be a dick. And typically I don't talk about a lot of things I don't like anyway. So, hopefully that won't be an issue. The only other thing that I've got underlined like three times, and we don't even have to talk about it, and I did bring it up once though, is consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. On a list of guests. But consistency is, I think, the biggest thing. Like we've got to do everything we can, and it's as hard. It's going to be as challenging it'll be challenging for both of us. We both have families, we both have kids, all that
Right.
kind of good
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Um, and then the only other thing, I got one more thing on my list, and that was, and I don't know if that's a conversation we want to have while we're doing the test or not, but the other thing that I had is that we had originally talked about using this as sort of a recruiting tool for a player base, right? And
Yeah.
that, and we had talked about running Saturday games.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's talk
I
about that.
let's talk about Saturday games. All right. Um, I would love it. I don't. We're not going to have it, right? I would love it if one day we had a community big enough. We're not going to have it anytime soon, but if we had a community big enough to be like, "Hey, we're going to do a game. Let's take a vote." You know what I mean? And we would get more than 4 or 5 votes. Um, for the Saturday game, I was thinking, and these are just initial thoughts, so feel free to shoot these down or what have you. But I was thinking we should pick a pretty simple system, one that we could possibly even come up with like real quick pre-gens, or it would be nothing for an experienced player to roll up a real quick character. And I was thinking that given our schedules, we should trade GM duties.
Okay.
I'm thinking something simple like ICRPG,
Okay.
or we could do Shadow Dark. I just feel like Shadow Dark is Shadow Dark. You know what I mean? And I feel like with something like ICRPG, we could get a little funky with it.
Okay.
And it's as simple. It is but it doesn't have the pull of Shadow Dark, right? It doesn't have that pull. So 6 to 1, right? In what are the players going to like? But something simple that we could both run. And I don't know how to. I other than that, I don't have any details.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Well, I would think we would want, if this is sort of like, hey, if you like our stream, you like what we do, here's a link to the Discord. Come on in, and we're going to run games on Saturday. I think we'd want to
Right.
do something that's uh, relatively straightforward, like some kind of sandbox where
Absolutely.
maybe, I mean, West Marches has gotten, people are talking about West Marches again. Probably wouldn't necessarily work for us,
No.
but something along those lines where it doesn't really matter who shows up. You know,
Right.
they leave the confines of the keep to go explore the caves of chaos again, or something like that. They're going to go
Yeah.
to the north to check out the spider haunt woods or whatever. And then just that's the game for the evening, and then next week it might be something else because it's a different group and they're interested in checking out the mines of Moira or whatever. So
Yeah. The reason I would go with Shadow Dark is because it's everybody's running it, right? And we could run a sandbox straight from the book.
yeah,
Pretty much. We could run it straight from the book. And I think if we ran it straight from the book, we wouldn't necessarily be stepping on each other's toes, when we switched off or anything, because it's sandbox, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, Dungeon wise, I think what we should do is each of us should prepare a dungeon or two, or what we could do. Each of us would prepare it doesn't have to be a mega dungeon. Nobody likes it. Do people really like mega dungeon? Anyway, I guess they do. We can argue about that later. Um,
That's a topic of discussion. Yeah.
there we go. But we could at least, ICRPG is really centered around the encounter, right? Like you don't design your campaign, you design the encounter, and it's always encounter based, right? You're
Okay.
always playing in turn. It's almost always, but we could run Shadow Dark that way as well. I mean, there's no, what's funny is I've heard Ms. Dion say several times that the game that she runs, her home game, is ICRPG.
Oh, really?
Like she
Interesting.
doesn't, yeah, she runs Shadow Dark at conventions, and for all the different things that she does or what have you, and she's right, like that's her focus. But for her home game with like, you know, just needing it to be simple, she runs ICRPG.
Oh, that's interesting.
Um, isn't it though? Um, but Shadow Dark is on everybody's minds, and there are some really interesting. There's a ton of content that's available for it.
Yeah. Yep.
So that would probably be the way to go. And then, do you? Yeah, I guess everything else is just timing and schedule. But if you're down for that, I think that's the way we should. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm okay. I'm open. I want to run games. I like running games. I like playing games, that sort of thing. If we were tag teaming it, that would open the door for me to continue being able to participate in my in-person game that happens once a month on a Saturday. So,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have to
What's
worry
what
about
time
that.
do you usually play that game? Is that got a very schedule, or is it typically an evening game?
We start around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and go until about 7 or 8, but sometimes we'll go even longer, depending. Right now, it's been kind of short because all of us have had a lot going on, and we haven't really yet to sink our teeth into a new campaign. I've just started a Forbidden Lands game, so I think once that starts to gain momentum, and I think these guys are really going to like it because it's got all the hex crawly stuff, but it's also kind of a story game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to like it, and so they all of a sudden our nights might get a little longer. I don't know though. I mean,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
one of
Well,
my friends is almost 60 years old, and he doesn't like driving at night. So, like,
gotcha. Well, I asked that because I was wondering, other than college football season, Saturdays, nighttime is always better,
yeah,
typically. But Saturdays are also my night to take out the girl, when that's possible. Sometimes we got three kids, sometimes that ain't happening.
right,
Um, let's not let's wait to kind of schedule that. We
yeah.
should talk about it, maybe have some conversation, but let's not do it right away.
I was going to suggest that. Let's wait and see how things go, and then if it looks like we can get some interest in like a sandbox, we can then take some time to put together what the sandbox the area, and
Right.
then we can you know start seeing who's interested in what.
Or the two of us could pick a realm in the star.
Interesting. I was trying to put something together from Astara a little while back, living world kind of thing. That kind of fell apart, but that would be cool. And that would, especially if you have like some of the Curse Scroll zines, that would open up the door to use a lot of those alternative character classes and stuff.
Yep.
Because I love the Northern Reaches, and there's that whole, she's got an entire zine dedicated to Vikings. So
Yeah, that does. Mystara would actually, you couldn't do straight Mystara. It'd be like Alter Mystara, Bizarro Mystara, you
yeah,
know,
the Shadow World of Miztara.
Shadow Mystara.
Yeah, what's on the other side of the mirror kind of thing.
Shadow Mystara.
I have a feeling we're on to something.
Shadow Mystara using Shadow Dark. Do you have all the curse scrolls?
I have the first three. She's going to kickstart the next three, I think, very
Yeah,
soon.
I've got them. I've got them all too. I think
So
they're fun. Shadow Dark is such a good game. That's the game I want to play with my kids this year, but it's so hard because I got one who's like, I swear to God, dude, he eats ADD for breakfast. He just,
yeah,
you know,
yep.
but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Okay. So tentatively, our Saturday games are going to be, we're going to use the Shadow Dark system, doing Shadow Mystara, and as we get closer, we will discuss. details. All right.
But we'll
Oh wow.
definitely, and along in conjunction with that, make a note of this. In conjunction with that, we'll look into cleaning up my Discord server because it's a mess, and then trying
Yeah.
to opening up to more people. Right now, it's for those listening, it's kind of invite only, but and it's still going to be, I guess. I don't know. I have to look into it, but just shore up some of the rules, maybe get some more admins, that kind of thing, and then that way we can have people join and participate in these games. So
I agree that the Discord server, um, hmm, I think we need to move one section of your server because my server has like 5 people on it that don't pay attention to anything.
right.
I wonder if there's one spot, one of those server sections that we shouldn't move over to mine, just in case one of us drinks too much and starts typing in general chat one night. Um, we can think about that. Also, man, it's so hard to organize. I think it would be hard to organize a server in general because I would
Well,
want to keep it real simple. You know, I go to some servers and it's just like, Jesus, dude, I don't have the fucking
yeah. Well, I
wherewithal to even hunt through this.
yeah, I tried to what initially all I did with that server was break it up into campaigns that I was running, and you'll see
Hmm.
it like
Hmm.
the whatever it was, the heresy at Dunsmith and this, that, and the other thing. And then when I decided to kind of start opening up to more people and just telling people that I've gamed with and I know and I trust, hey, go ahead and start inviting people if you want. Um, that's when I tried to like, okay, here's a general section. Here's a section we can talk about games. And here's some gaming tables you guys can share. This, that, and the other thing. But I still have all that other stuff that I'm really not using. So maybe I should just delete them. You know what I mean? Or maybe
I
like down.
definitely think is there a setting where like if nobody posts within like a month or so, the server,
I can hide him. I can hide all of that, and just so I'm the one who sees it,
yeah.
which I
I think
might do.
there's a few things like you. I do notice that you get an idea and you throw up a new channel. You're like, oh yeah, 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 which is can be great. You know, I mean, it worked out well for me with the heroic game for sure. Um, so I don't think that's necessarily the worst idea. I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it too much. The server. I mean, it can be reorganized. Um, just a simple tech question. When we do stream, is there a way to run the stream through your server? Like post, we're going live and have a box. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good question. I have no idea. I'm what I would probably do is I could Bear's been doing movie nights on his
mhm.
server, and I joined one. It was actually kind of fun. So all he's doing though is sharing his screen as he's watching a movie on his computer. I could probably share this screen or something like that, or whatnot. If you wanted to do it that way, but I just sort of feel like it's an extra step. It would just be easier to tell everybody go to YouTube. Here's the link,
Truth.
you know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um,
And I could certainly create like a quick channel that is simply labeled live stream, and no one can interact with that channel, but they'll see the updates. Like, okay, here you
yeah,
everybody, here it is,
no,
here it
that'll
is.
work. You know, I think I could be wrong. We just got a question. Will be stream on X2? Um,
Yes,
yes. Yeah,
yes.
that
I,
that
I didn't tonight because I was more focused on the YouTube Rumble side of things. The weird thing about X, what I've noticed, like with let's see, well, RPG Pundit has talked about this, and Diversity and Dragons, they have a hard time interacting with people. So
mm,
um, if I'm doing it more out of just to try to get more people to like come here. Uh, but if the technology or whatever gets better, or I just learn a little bit more about it, maybe we can try to interact more on Twitter. But according to
hey,
Restream, though, according to Restream, it's taking all the chats from both Rumble and YouTube and funneling it all into Restream, which I don't think you can do that with StreamYard or some of these other ones, which has been really cool so far. So anyway,
I had a question in a month. Hey, Matt and Gary, what's up, guys? Who's this? Do you know Whammoo
Whammoo
64?
64. I don't, but hey, what's up? Thanks for joining us. This is just a test,
Just a
man. Thanks
just a
for
test. Just a test.
it'll be official in a couple of weeks, January 17th, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
All right.
But thanks for showing up, dude.
Um, cleaning up Discord servers, Saturday game, consistency, 10 to 12, set list. The only other thing I put on the list that I told you about that we haven't talked about because we probably should do it on live stream is putting together a list of potential guests.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and,
I'll read.
and I think that's it. Will Cyrus right? Thanks, man.
Dude, this guy and I follow each other on Twitter. He's awesome.
Are you? Is he on the server? I
I
mean,
don't know.
that's
I
what I was
don't
going to
think
ask you.
so.
Do me a favor, and you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go probably into the YouTube settings, um, but posting links on your YouTube, right? I remember when I
Yeah.
was screwing around with things, it would not it would not let me put my Discord link up for whatever reason. So if you might want to double check that you're
Okay.
able to do that so that we can put the server invite on there. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe because I had, 5 followers. That might be one of the reasons, but you're probably
Yeah.
already
I don't.
there.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of how. Because I know like the Discord like invite can like it's got like limit duration, so that could have been an issue too. I
Yeah.
don't know, but
All right. I say that we turn the live stream off. I will go pee and refill my cup. And then we talk about the things that we can't talk about because they're super secrets.
see.
Mm.
I know. Yeah, all right, well, we'll do that. Hey, for those of you who just jumped on out of nowhere, because I didn't even obviously advertise this was just like a test stream. It's actually the second test stream. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. We hope you guys enjoy what's coming in another 2 weeks, January 17th, 10 Eastern, or I'm sorry, 10 Central, 11 Eastern, Friday nights.
This one. This
Oh,
this one.
you, he's a lead guitar
Shh.
player. You just asked him.
What you don't realize is that as soon as you asked me that question about will I be playing this
he
guitar, my head literally grew by about a quarter of an inch. The radius, it just kind of went because all the shit they say about guys who play lead guitar is
is
absolutely true. We are exactly the
yeah.
stereotype. But anyway, that'll be. Hold on. Maybe I should do like an intro, right? Boom.
Something jazzy.
If I speed it up, it's Boogie on Reggae Woman. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, man. I tell you what, when we're not doing the Cyrus, when we're not doing the live cast, we'll have you know that I do give instruction online. It's very minimal fee. Um, so if you ever want to learn to play guitar, let Wook know.
And I can tell you, he did it for years.
I man, I had a day the other day where I was just like dreaming of the van pulling up to the house and me throwing all my gear in it, driving to some shitty fucking honky tonk in the middle of nowhere and just drinking until I died. It's holidays have been rough, bro. I had that surgery. When I went to talk to the doctor, it's just it was a lot. I wasn't gonna die or anything. It was wash hands, yes. I can't. I'm dirty, man. Um, when the doctor and me were talking about that surgery, he's like, "Man, you'll be up in like a day or two. You know, just depends on your comfort level. Go do what you got to do." Bro, I was like on opioids for pain for a week. Then when the medicine ran out, I was like, I needed a cane. I'm just now feeling myself. What's up? All right. Well, they just got here and we're about to sign off. So
Yeah, so I'll do this the quick goodbye spiel again. This was an impromptu test stream because there were some technical issues a few days ago. I really appreciate everyone like popping in last minute notice. Clearly you're interested. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Gary
very
appreciates
much.
it. Uh, January 17th, Friday nights, the second watch, 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern, and
Cyrus.
we're gonna be talking. Yeah, I told you the guy's based, man. He's totally cool. He's totally cool. Uh, yeah, we're gonna be talking about games and the games that you play, indie games. It's gonna be awesome, and maybe I don't know. I'll learn something. You'll learn something. Be a part of the
Wrap it
conversation.
up. I gotta pee. Going to
So,
pee pee.
all right, guys. Thanks a lot. Talk to you guys later.
I'm on mute.